your girl Bonnie Blue, and I am back for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review, y'all. Yes, okay. So let me get into my notes so we can talk about what happened last night. I feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta is actually starting to get, I don't know, interesting. But I also feel like they tittering on the line of boring the piss out of everybody with, you know, these long ass seasons that they basically have really nothing going on for most of them. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I didn't make any notes. Okay, so we just gonna talk about some stuff. Let's go to my Twitter page. How about that? That's what we gonna do, because I was live tweeting last night, and yes, y'all, that's what I do. I live tweet during a lot of these shows. So if you want to see some of my on-spot responses to the shows, then you should definitely follow me on Twitter. If you ever want to talk to me, Twitter is the way to talk to me. Okay. I like Instagram. I'm on Instagram, but I don't like to talk to people on Instagram. You like it? You like it? Okay, I have my light up, you guys. So, you know, just letting my soul glow, letting it shine through. First of all, Nene and everybody that was sitting at the table, because y'all know the argument between Claudia and Nene continued this episode. And, you know, she was saying that Claudia's clit was leaving the building and she's a whore and all of this shit. And, you know, Claudia's unbothered, okay? Claudia is going after everything we've ever said on Twitter, okay? And I had no problem with this. Like, what else are we supposed to say about Nene? I feel like as the public, as YouTube, all of that shit, we've said it all. We've said about, you know, the back of the hair looking like somebody that ate that shit up. You know what I'm saying? You need to stop with all of the processing, because, bitch, your hair is leaving you behind. You know what I mean? Like, that's, we've all said this shit before, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, her nose is a beak now, okay? She looks like a fucking bird, okay? Two can't say about this bitch, okay? We've called that bitch Big Bird, okay? We've called that bitch Big Feet, okay? We've called her everything that we could think of, okay? I mean, shit. I could think of all kind of shit right now off the top of my head. Because she gives us so much fucking material. Like, for instance, the constant showing of the horrible chopped up hair and the light ass lipstick. And they keep putting the lips out like this. Like, you're not a white woman, Nene. You have lips. Okay? Not to say like all white women don't have lips, but most of y'all don't. Okay? Nene's a black woman that has black woman features. Nose, eyes, lips. You already have that, sweetheart. So the light ass lipstick and the protruding of the lips is so unnecessary. It's so sickening. I don't want to see it again. I will talk to you like a WWE star whenever I see that shit again. God damn it. Somebody called me a Nene hater, and I was like, how am I hating? She's being a total asshole. Like, get out of her ass long enough to realize when somebody needs to be checked, okay? As one of my other commenters said, this is equal opportunity reading, bitch, okay? This is equal opportunity. Everybody gets read. There's nobody on this show that I like more than Candy most of the time, and I've been reading this bitch the whole season so far. Ain't had a nice thing to say yet. I don't see y'all in the comments talking about I'm shading her and I'm hating on her. Same thing with Phaedra. I go off on Phaedra. Nobody calls me a Phaedra hater, but I say something about Big Bird and everybody wants to flip out calling me a fucking hater. What y'all gonna learn one day is that I don't give a fuck. After Claudia and Kenya and Cynthia and Demetria got up and left the table, Candy, Portia, and Nene and Phaedra just proceeded to guffaw and laugh and cackle at everything that was said. And then Nene honestly, you know, told Phaedra she was being shady when they met with Demetria, talking about the crack and her music and her age. You were being shady. Phaedra acting like she not hearing it. Candy in the background like, girl, you got me defending you, and it's like, see, that's why you don't need to say nothing until you know something, okay? And you know, you're gonna be neutral, bitch. Really be neutral, okay? Like, shh. Just sit there and watch. Don't say shit. Just be the person. If you want to be that person that's going to check somebody, check your friend too. You know what I mean? Like, don't just check people you don't like. Check your friend too. Nene, I feel like you was mad as shit. I feel like Claudia, you know, read you to pieces. Even though it may not be, you know, top shelf reads, god damn it, it's more than anybody else on this show has ever said to Nene. And that's the point. The point is, Nobody else has the balls to go at it with her like that. They all let Nene just get away with saying shit and her little lightweight shade she throw and the horrible, shit that's on the back of her neck. That's why we get aggravated with Real Housewives of Atlanta right now, because it's not enough confrontation with people that are so goddamn confrontational. I'm glad Claudia's here. Love your Claudia, okay? I love Claudia. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, but I always did like Claudia, because Claudia is down to earth. You know what I mean? And I like that about her. Like, she actually tweets people back. We and her had a whole conversation on Twitter. She may not even know it, okay? And all of the jokes that they was all sitting up there telling, that shit just pissed me off. That whole little scene with Phaedra and Candy and Portia and her, just going at it. And it's like all y'all was quiet and hush at the end of that fucking table when Claudia and them was sitting right there. But now that they gone, y'all got everything in the world to say. And I mean, everybody said what they had to say as far as the people who got into confrontations, but they still wasn't as boisterous as they are now that everybody done walked off. Whatever. Another thing, Nene, Kenya is not controlling anybody, okay? You really need to stop saying that. You control people. Kenya not controlling nobody, okay? Kenya can hardly control her damn self. Y'all see what she be doing sometimes. Y'all, when they walked off and said those edges ain't loyal. Your edges ain't loyal. Your edges ain't loyal. Like, I'm just saying, that shit was funny, okay? I'm sorry. Portia said she felt like she could work it out. Y'all, that was one of my tweets I said when they went shopping and it was some jewelry. They went to the Cartier store. Y'all, $444,000 for a necklace. She said, I think I could work that out. Then, on the other side of town, you got Kenya and them talking about, Portia, where she getting her money from and who she sleeping with and what married African she sleeping with. Da-da-da-da-da. That's what the thing is. You sleeping with a married African. Everybody know that right now. We know that's what's going on. That's how she getting all this money. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Let me explain the breakdown, because somebody came at me on Twitter like I was saying that Kenya was wrong for doing it. No, let's get this straight. Kenya never had, okay, a fucking African billionaire. She never had one. We never saw him, okay? And even though we haven't seen Portia with hers, we actually know who he is because the blogs found out he was some married man. And the wife was like, bitch, you better get to stepping before I cut you down. Bitch, you better not come back to Africa. You better not come back to the motherland, bitch, because it's going to go down. That's what she had said. We heard all of this on the blogs about Portia and this married, rich-ass man she was fucking with, okay? Now, to me, I feel like, Kenya, you trying to do the same thing, okay? So, it ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't like nobody dating married men, but at the end of the day, I'm not counting the lines on nobody's coochie, okay? I don't care what you doing. You a hoe, be a hoe. You gonna have to reap what you sow. Eventually, you gonna have to deal with that. Women that go around dating married men their whole fucking life, they miss out on their own blessings because you never find somebody that's truly just for you because you too busy fucking behind, running behind somebody else's man. And like I said, you reap what you sow. It ain't my man. You ain't my friend. I don't give a shit. If Kenya was doing that, Kenya, you fucking with a married man, now you know you ain't right. But I don't give a shit. That's her business. That's her vagina. I don't care who none of these women are having sex with. Portia, same difference. My point was, Kenya just hating because Portia is doing this shit and she doing it well, okay? She is beating you at this whole game right now, okay? I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. Y'all can play if y'all want to, but we can obviously see how Portia doing it right now, okay? Like, on some ignorant shit. And we can also see that Kenya is doing it on her own dime. And we're not mad at that either. But it's not doing what this one over here doing. And I know you trying to do what this one over here doing. Demetria went and apologized to Phaedra, y'all. She said that she didn't want to make those comments about Apollo, but she didn't start with Phaedra. And Phaedra was like, I feel like you shouldn't be saying that because you don't know what you're talking about, So I thank you for apologizing and, let's put it behind us. And they hugged it out. And then Phaedra did some real nasty shit where I almost felt like she was going to try to fuck Demetria. It was just very awkward. I want to say that even though I'm glad they acting like they put it aside, Phaedra, I didn't like the way you responded to her because you were wrong as well. And I feel like you didn't give her the correct apology and you totally threw aside how she felt, and that was fucked up as a woman. Like, that's just fucked up. I didn't like that. I didn't like how you acted towards that girl. It was wrong, and I still feel like you haven't apologized for it, and I still have a problem with it. So I don't know why Demetria came to you to apologize because she started the shit. Okay, I'm talking about Phaedra. Phaedra started this shit, so I don't know why, you know, Demetria went and apologized to her, but she was trying to be the bigger person. She didn't want the bad energy, and I'm not mad at that, because sometimes you do have to be the bigger person, and sometimes it's not about them. It's about you just feeling free and clear of any bad energy yourself, and whatever they got going on, that's on them. So I understand Demetria, but I didn't like the way Phaedra responded, even though they ended up saying, you know, it's all good, and I'm glad about that. Candy was having like another one of these little sex parties on the beach, and yeah, we tired of all these damn sex parties, but the shit did look fun. It was beautiful on that beach like that, the way it was set up, and they sitting up there like, you know, moving dildos in between each other's legs. Like one person grabbed the dildo from in between your knees, and you got it in between your knees, and they grab it and going on in a circle. And the whole time I'm like, what is the point of this shit? I mean, are y'all gonna fuck or what? Is it gonna be like a circle orgy shit with the girls? Like, is that what's gonna happen? Because I don't understand what other reason we could have for passing dildos around in between each other's knees. What is the point of that game? Is that really that fun? That shit probably is fun, but it's still weird, okay? It's still weird. I'm tweeting once again, stop with the clit shit, Nene. It's whack. It is whack. It's so whack. Stop that shit, okay? Nene got on the bus with everybody on the way to Demetria's performance and told everybody that, you know, even though y'all try to down some of my accomplishments, I'm gonna send all y'all tickets because I am going to Broadway, bitch. Cinderella, come see me. What? Because at the end of the day, what? I'm on Broadway. Bloop. And I'm like, you goddamn right, Nene. At the end of the day, you are on Broadway, bitch. And I thought that was amazing. I thought that was great. I heard she did great on Cinderella. I saw pictures because I follow her on Instagram. And she looks great. She looks beautiful. The makeup that they did and, you know, just the costumes and everything. It looked great. And she looked very humbled and appreciative of that opportunity. I was happy for Nene. But at the end of the day, you are throwing your accomplishments in other people's face. So Claudia brings up, since you want to bring up your accomplishments, you down mine. Like I'm far from a whore, but that's what you feel like all I have to offer is the fact that I'm a whore. But I've done so many things. I've been on television. I've been, she done been in, I think she's been in low budget movies. I want to say she's been in movies, television shows, radio. She's done everything that she's done in her own right, which deserves just as much respect as your fly-by-the-night acting career, Nene. No hate, but I'm just saying, Claudia been working very hard over the years for what she does as a television and radio personality, and you on the other hand get on a reality show and just hurry up and get to do Broadway after a couple of years of doing a reality show. I'm sorry, but I kind of feel like that's unfair on some shit, but I'm not mad at you for getting what you gotta get, because if I was you, I would have done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. But it's just kind of unfair how shit work out. And he says, I don't know why she tripping about it like that. And it's like, the reason why she keep going, the reason why she going so hard is because none of you bitches ever do. None of y'all ever go that hard. Y'all always take the little scrap of an apology that Nene wants to give y'all because, and y'all even said it. She should be happy she even got an apology. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? No, she shouldn't. No, she shouldn't. If she felt like she deserved more than big head ass Nene was willing to offer, then she needed to say that shit. If she still had a problem, she needed to say that shit. If she needed to take the spotlight completely off the fact that you going on Broadway in order to smash your hopes and dreams right quick on this bus, she needed to do that. Okay? Because like I said, happy for Nene, but the way you did it was on some annoying shit. And I had to say that. You annoyed the piss out of me. Why are you trying to throw that shit in everybody's face like that, especially Claudia? At some point, Claudia started calling out Portia because Portia little ass wants to sit there and laugh and giggle and go forward with her alligator head. That's what she called her. Fucking alligator head. I would have called that whole clown teeth, but I'm going to just leave it alone. So anyway, they had their little back and forth, and Claudia had to, tell her, like, I know about the black African baby because we got some mutual friends. So I know about what you're doing. Don't get it twisted. Somebody always know. And I really felt like Portia should have just stayed in her place, because the only reason Claudia said something to Portia was because Portia was like, why can't you just let it go? She apologized. Mind your business. This didn't have nothing to do with you. You should have just set your ass on the sidelines and watched. But oh no, you had to speak up. So now she got to read you and tell you about what you're doing, okay? And I feel like it's fair game since you wanted to laugh and make whole jokes with Nene. I think it's fair game. We can go after each other. Y'all went after me, I'm going to go after y'all. I understand Claudia there, so I didn't have a problem with that at all. I feel like everybody's due for a nice ass kicking around Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm happy for the uproar. And it ain't got nothing to do with Kenya, and I'm happy for that too. But they decided just to go ahead and let it go. And, you know, go ahead and just get it together for Demetrius' performance. And Nene's like, you know, all right, girl, we can just go ahead and do it and take a, you know, take a selfie. Like, let's just get over it like that. And I feel like the only reason you like that is because Claudia is not going to back down from your ass. Now, y'all may argue again, but you see how she ain't going to sit up there and play with her like she do Cynthia. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what go down. But I'm just saying, they pulled it together to go ahead and go to Demetrius' performance. They go to Demetrius' performance. Demetria performed her song. They got there late, but they still got to see her perform a song, the song 100 that's on iTunes right now. I'm gonna go get it because I like that song. And Demetria has a great voice. I don't know if she should have been up there trying to, you know, dance and all of that. I also feel like sometimes in small on small stages, background dances are unnecessary, and it seems kind of talent show-ish. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a vocalist, you a singer, girl, get up there by your damn self and give people a show. Just you by yourself. You don't need no backup dancers. You may need backup singers, but you don't need backup dancers, okay? Like, I just wasn't here for that. But anyway, her performance still looked good, and she sang her ass off, and I was feeling that song with the brat. Oh, shit. So, you know, it was all good. And everybody was happy to be there for her performance. So that was all that basically happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. I'm sorry I didn't have like direct notes to go from, but I hope me going from my Twitter account was okay, since I basically was tweeting the whole show. If I missed anything, y'all leave it down in the comments below and I'll comment on it or whatever. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share my video with your people. Thank you. Bye.